return. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 22, "Whosoever findeth a wife findeth a good thing." The invention of marriage was a gift to men and a strategic alliance between families. Societal stability was said to depend on it. When marital relations did not go as he wished, the husband could do what he deemed necessary, apart from murder, to make things right. If he beat his wife, the law upheld his authority. He was also entitled to sex, however loveless or coerced. Rape was considered a reasonable response if the wife did not comply. In the United States, marital rape was not a crime in all 50 states until 1993. In the 13th century, the English jurist and cleric Henry de Bracton, Chancellor of Exeter Cathedral, declared that a married couple is one person, and that person is the husband. In 1863, Lucy Gilmer Breckinridge, a 19-year-old girl in Virginia, who had been keeping a journal to alleviate her boredom during wartime, fretted privately that she might never learn to love a man. "Oh, what I would not give for a wife!" The history of wives is largely one of resilience and forbearance, with countless women demonized, marginalized, misrepresented, and silenced. As they found themselves trapped in bad marriages, their husbands were free to roam in search of more and better sex. The wives buried their desires, hopes, and regrets for the greater good and in the interest of keeping the peace, all while serving as beaming helpmeet. When a husband went astray, the wife had the additional duty to reform him. It isn't surprising that in the index of a book chronicling the history of marriage, wives and drunkenness is among the entries. Contemporary marriage, in its ideal form, is an egalitarian, sexually fulfilling, and mutually supportive alliance, comprising love and friendship. Yet for many couples, heterosexual or otherwise, this perfect union is unrecognizable. Modern marriage is a series of compromises, a relentless juggling act of work obligations, childcare demands, household chores, money squabbles, hoarded grievances, simmering hostilities, and intimacy issues. The burdens are more extreme at lower socioeconomic levels. Perhaps that explains the endless discourse around the work of marriage, a predictable result of the tedium that can set in after two people have lived together for a long time. Arnold Bennett says that the horror of marriage lies in its dailiness. Virginia Woolf wrote in her diary in 1926, "All acuteness of a relationship is rubbed away by this." Toss in male privilege, ruthless ambition, narcissism, misogyny, infidelity, alcoholism, and a mood disorder or two, and it's easy to understand why the marriages of so many famous writers have been stormy, short-lived, and mutually destructive. Given the extraordinary works of literature that could only have been produced as a result of their marital partnerships, there's a topsy-turvy aspect to assessing what it means to have had a failed marriage. The typical rules do not apply. For the wife, happily ever after often means happily ever after the divorce. Yet an ending does not always provide a clear path to salvation, even when the wife is a prominent writer. In a 2013 interview with Sharon Olds, the Pulitzer Prize-winning poet was asked whether she had reinvented herself in the aftermath of a devastating divorce. "I was 55, she said. "I would not have known how. What I had to do was persevere." In traditional literary marriages, the lot of the wife is rather bleak. She must tend to the outsized needs of the so-called great writer, and her work is never done. Literary wives are a unique breed, requiring a particular kind of fortitude. No vade mecum exists to guide them. Sooner or later, the great men turn out to be all alike. V.S. Pritchett once lamented, "They never stop working. They never lose a minute. It is very depressing." It is even more depressing for their wives. The phrase, "I don't know how she does it," is commonly uttered about wives and